said, listen, I started Jake off and I'm going to finish him.
Said, listen, I started Jake off, and I'ma finish him. Mike Tyson got furious at Jake Paul after their recent press conference, slamming Paul for disrespecting him at the event. Meanwhile, the head honcho of UFC, Dana White, has offered his perspective on the matter. White's focused, determining whether Tyson vs. Paul will manifest as an exhibition match or escalate into a genuine brawl. Surprisingly, White disclosed that even the commission was uncertain about the upcoming fight. The UFC CEO said, I don't think the Texas has really figured out what this is going to be because it's happening in Texas," says Dallas, Texas Stadium. And the commission, I think, is still wavering on whether this is going to be a real fight. Or I think Tyson wants it to be a real fight. I think the other side wants it to be an exhibition. Speculation surrounding the matter has surged since the announcement of the bout. Even Joe Rogan on his podcast expressed doubts that it would merely be an exhibition match, suggesting Tyson intended it to be a genuine addition to his fighting legacy. Meanwhile, Dana White confidently stated he had the inside scoop on why Tyson decided to step into the ring against the problem child. According to White, Tyson, despite his past glory as a champion, found himself swimming in a sea of wealth beyond the boxing arena, with the world still cheering for him. Tyson was constantly bombarded with irresistible offers he couldn't refuse thanks to his iconic status. White's said, Tyson still has that aura. You can be at a restaurant and he walks in and you're like, holy, Mike Tyson's here. You know, he still has that type of aura and energy in a room, and he makes lots of money outside of the ring. I think that he ends up getting these offers that he can't refuse. But the UFC president also thought Tyson was a man of his own, therefore he acted in accordance with his moral convictions. Teddy Atlas, renowned in the Boxing Hall of Fame and once mentor to the legendary Mike Tyson, also shared his insights on the much-anticipated fight. Teddy Atlas mentioned to Boxing King Media that Tyson is likely being paid a substantial amount of money. He suggested that the reality of the situation would only become clear in time. I think, what do I make of it? Let's see, let me think for a minute. You have to be a genius to figure this one, that he's getting paid a lot of money. Do you give me any chance to beat Jake Paul? 'Cause the way they're talking is a real fight. Listen, we don't know what's real yet until we find out. Atlas continued by expressing uncertainty about the fight's authenticity. He acknowledged that Jake Paul has put in a lot of effort to learn boxing and has been very strategic about it, adding that Paul is very smart and deserves credit for his approach. I don't know if it's real. I know that Jake Paul has worked very hard to learn boxing and has been very smart about doing it. If every smart, you got to give him credit. Moreover, Atlas added that even at 58 or whatever age Tyson is now, the one thing that doesn't leave a fighter is their power. He emphasized his understanding of this fact by recalling how George Foreman, at 45 years old, defeated his fighter, highlighting that power is something that never disappears. And I know that even at 58, or whatever Tyson is now, I know that he's one thing that doesn't go away from a fight. I know it better than anyone, because a very special man named George Foreman, at 45 years of age, beat my fighter, because the one thing that doesn't disappear is power. Teddy Atlas further remarked that while reflexes and speed may diminish over time, power remains. He stated that Mike Tyson still possesses power, and his quickness and muscle memory are evident. Atlas also added that Tyson was one of the great heavyweights. Reflexes, they go away, speed it disintegrates a little bit. It deteriorates a little bit, but power, no, it stays. Tyson still has power. He's still, you can see, he's still got quickness. He's got those quick twitch muscles where he's still got muscle memory from when he was one of the great heavyweights. He added that if the fight is real, the first couple of rounds would be very dangerous for Jake Paul. Atlas then explained that in those early rounds, Tyson would likely come out aggressively, making Paul miss and creating openings. He emphasized that Tyson still has the power to inflict serious damage. I would say this If it's real, the first couple rounds are going to be very dangerous for Jake Paul. The first couple rounds of Tyson a way that he would come out and do what he normally does, which is to make your miss, and create an opening. He still has the power to do real serious damage. On the other hand, Tyson Fury is firmly backing Mike Tyson to knock out Jake Paul. Fury believes that Paul won't be able to withstand Tyson's renowned striking strength regardless of the size of the gloves. He expressed confidence in Tyson's power, asserting that if Mike Tyson hit anybody, it wouldn't matter. If he were 90 years old, they would still be knocked out cold. He referred to Tyson as the baddest man on the planet, highlighting his unparalleled reputation in the boxing world. Despite Jake Paul's extensive experience and numerous fights, Fury made it clear that his support lies with Tyson for the knockout, noting that Tyson has always backed him in return. Fury added, "If Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's going to knock them out cold. Isn't he? He's Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet." Jake Paul is very experienced now, and he's had a lot of fights. But obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson for the knockout, as he always backs me as Mike Tyson prepares for his first professional comeback in years. Many within the boxing community have expressed concerns about his health. However, Fury has voiced his strong support for the fight, emphasizing that it will be a fantastic spectacle. He dismissed the worries as stemming from jealousy, pointing out that those who criticize the fight are likely fighters who are not receiving significant paychecks or attention. Fury stated that negative opinions typically come from those not making money or standing to gain anything from the event. He said only jealous fighters who aren't getting paid and not getting laid, those are the fighters that are jealous. Negative people who are not making any money and are not set to gain anything from the fight. Fury also highlighted the economic benefits of the fight, noting that it has generated a substantial amount of money, particularly for Texas, where the fight will take place. This of numerous tickets indicates a significant influx of dollars into the local economy. Additionally, he pointed out that both Mike Tyson's and Jake Paul's teams are benefiting financially. In Fury's view, the fight is a positive development for all parties involved, contributing to the local economy and supporting the teams of both fighters. Fury added, "I think it's fantastic. I think it's created a lot of money, one for Texas, selling all of those tickets. That means it's a big influence of dollars being spent in the local area. All of Mike's team and Jake's team is being fed from it, and a lot of rent is being paid." In an exclusive interview with Bloody Elbow during the weigh-ins for Bellator Paris, the iconic chessonen, known for his razor-sharp trash-talking skills and as a formidable contender for world titles, confessed his belief that Jake Paul would emerge victorious. Sonnen, hailing from the era of Tyson's dominance, couldn't help but feel a twinge of sacrilege at his own prediction. He said, "I think that Jake is going to beat Mike Tyson." But that's blasphemy. I just said that I think Jake Paul is going to beat Mike Tyson. I've never said those words out loud, and that did not feel right, but he is a 2-to-1 favorite. I think for a reason Sonnen thinks Paul is someone who can motivate others in the fighting industry, because he has presided over press conferences for Paul in the past. I'm impressed with Jake. By the way, he added, moreover, Sonnen believes that Jake Paul is a figure worthy of admiration and emulation, rather than ridicule. He emphasized that Paul's methodical entry into the sport and his strategic choices deserve respect and study. Sonnen highlighted that Paul has taken on some significant challenges right from the start of his boxing career. He mentioned that Paul has faced great athletes, including Nate Robinson, a former NBA player known for his athleticism, and Ben Askren, a serious competitor with a strong background in wrestling. Sonnen pointed out that Paul's opponents were not just selected for their fame, but also for their athletic prowess. He also noted Paul's victories over Tyron Woodley, a former UFC welterweight champion. Sonnen described Woodley as an incredibly tough opponent, comparing the experience of touching Woodley to touching an oak tree. Due to his solid build, Paul managed to defeat Woodley, not just once but twice, showcasing his ability to overcome formidable adversaries. Sonnen added right off the bat, he's already taking on some great athletes. Even the slam dunk guy Nate Robinson is a great athlete. Ben Azran was a serious competitor. Tyron Woodley was a world champion. He's awesome. Have you ever touched Tyron Woodley? It's like touching an oak tree. And he got over on him twice. Sonnen concluded by reiterating his belief that Paul's approach to his boxing career should be studied and copied. He sees Paul as someone who has figured out the intricacies of the sport and has demonstrated the capability to handle significant pressure and competition. In Sonic view, Paul's strategic and thought-out progression in boxing sets a valuable example for others to follow. Demetrius Johnson is worried about Mike Tyson. In this situation, the experienced fighter's tendency